morning. You're welcome to another beautiful segment on our latest update on news. On our breakfast news, bringing breakfast news to you this morning is Mark Conjola Oluwatosin. Here are the major headlines. On our local news this morning, FUTA lecturers joins ASU strike, berate federal government over approach. Bandits kidnapped 22, injured 4 in Kaduna. On our political news this morning regarding the 2023 general elections, I will be close to Obasanjo, says Angu Abdullahi. On our business news this morning, Pan dumps pig yield after over 40 years. On our sport news this morning, Kenya withdraw from African Women Cup of Nations. On our health news this morning, UK to offer COVID-19 vaccine to all children from ages 5 to 11. On our foreign news this morning, I can't move. Queen Elizabeth complains of stiffness during engagement. On entertainment news this morning, gospel singer Tim Godfrey gets engaged to lover. So full details coming up next. Welcome back. FUTA lecturers join ASU strike, berate federal government over approach. The Federal University of Technology Akure FUTA chapter of the Academic Staff Union of Academics Universities, ASU, has formally joined the ongoing strike announced by the association's national body. Professor Yinka Awokpetu, the chairman of the union in FUTA, disclosed this on Wednesday after the union's congress, which was held at the school's premises. According to Awokpetu, the FUTA branch carried out the national body's decision and has ordered all academic staff to vacate lecture halls. The government's failure to fulfill a memorandum of action negotiated with the union in 2019 prompted the walkout. According to Awokpetu, he said that the federal government has purposely ignored the union's agreement, claiming that until the union's agreement is honored, the 1-month industrial action will not be terminated. Meanwhile, academic and social activities at the institution have been altered as a result of the strike. Also, majority of the students have urged to the government and union to resolve the problem amicably for their sake. Bandits kidnapped 22, injured 4 in Kaduna. 22 persons were reportedly abducted on Wednesday by bandits that operated at Idon Town in Kajaru, local government area of Kaduna. 4 victims were injured in the attack, which occurred in the early hours of Wednesday. A source said, adding to the Idlums stormed the area at about 12:30 a.m. According to the source, the bandits stormed the community and shot indiscriminately when residents were fast asleep, operating from house to house. We don't know how they came, but we just heard them shooting, breaking doors and windows. They came out about 12:30 early in the morning, he said. Officials of the state and the police command had yet to confirm the attack by the supervisory councillor in charge of admin, finance and health. Kajuru local government area of the state, Bala Jonathan, identified the victims. He said after the attack, the following people were abducted: Justina Joseph, Mary Joseph, Regius Joseph, Stephen Joseph, Samson Laden, Christina David, Boniface David, Ellen Aminu, Mirabel Aminu, Precious Philemon, Nelson Philemon, Christian Philemon. Others are Yossi Gabriel, Stephen Clement, Jenkai Musa, Derek Obadia, Daniel David, Paul David, Stephanos Peter, Miracle Matthew, Jesse Charles, and Favor Daniel. Jonathan gave the names of these injured to include David Maigaya, Mika Musa, Josephine Matthew, and Marshall Musa. On our political news this morning regarding the 2023 upcoming general election, I will be close to Obasanjo, says Angu Abdullahi. The convener, Northern Elders Forum, Professor Angu Abdullahi, has disclosed his plans to regularly visit Nigeria's former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, particularly in the month leading to the 2023 general elections. This was contained in a statement by Obasanjo's special assistant on media, Kehinde Akinyemi, titled 2023, Angu Abdullahi meets Obasanjo, says we must strategize for the good of Nigeria. On Wednesday, Abdullahi stressed that in spite of their ages, they could still contribute to society and the country country at large. I don't want to stay away from him, Obasanjo, for so many months or years without seeing him, especially at this period. So I'm visiting him to say hello and get a briefing from him on how I feel about the nation. We also briefed him on how we feel about the nation. We compared some notes and we agreed on some grounds. The statement quoted him to have said during a meeting with Obasanjo in Abeokuta on Tuesday evening. Furthermore, the elder statesman said that the country needed good tidings from the 2023 elections, hence the need to strategize with the likes of Obasanjo and others. Abdullahi was accompanied by the Chairman Board of Trustees BOT, Coalition of Northern Groups CNG, Nastura Ashir Sharif, and the Director Action and Mobilization CNG, Aminu Adam, said that we are there on the same page with the former president on EUD discussed during the meeting that lasted 2 hours. We are on the same page and inshallah it shall be well. We have been having challenges and we have been talking on this. You are in the media and you know what we have been saying about the situation in our country. Things are not good enough, and as we are headed for 2023, we hope to be strategizing for the good of the nation. On our business news this morning, Pan dumps Pidgeot after over 40 years. After about 5 decades of operating Pidgeot assembly plants, Pan Nigeria Limited says it has dropped the brand and opted for 2 Chinese brands, Cherry and Aija. The auto company, however, dismissed reports that its Kaduna State-based factory has been bought over, stressing that it has only ceased to be an assembler of Pidgeot vehicles. It added that the factory had evolved as a multi-brand assembler of reputable international brands. Pan Nigeria, which recently named Taiwo Oluleye as its acting managing director, said it will be rolling out new vehicles models designed to meet the high expectation of its target market. It said in a statement that Pan has already signed 2 deals with 2 leading Chinese companies, Cherry Automobile and Aiga Bus Company, which specialize in the production of passenger cars and commercial vehicles. While Cherry is a leading manufacturer of sports utility vehicles and sedans, Aiga is a reportable producer of mini and city buses. It stated that the assembly of multiple brands at the Pan plant would increase capacity utilization, create new jobs, and promote local content development. We have a wide range of exciting new products ranging from pickups, buses, sedans, SUVs, and ambulances, which will be produced in our Pan plant to serve needs for the important segment. The new product will be competitively priced, offering high value for money in the Pan Nigeria tradition. It also said that the company will bring its extensive experience as the foremost auto manufacturer to bear on the production, distribution, and maintenance of the new products. On our sport news this morning, Kenya withdraw from African Women Cup of Nations. Kenya on Wednesday withdrew its national women's team from this month's African Women Cup of Nations qualifier against Uganda after failing to get the team registered by the Confederation of African Football, CAF. The government-sponsored caretaker committee has appealed to the continent football body to allow the R&B Starlets play the final round qualifier against the Uganda Crested Cranes in Kampala on February 17 after the sports governing body in Kenya, the FKF, pulled the team out in January. Kenya's Sports Minister Amina Mohamed said last month that a suspected fraud was behind the team's sudden withdrawal from the competition, as no such request had been authorized by the government. But on Wednesday, the committee chairman, Justice Aaron Ringera, said officials had exhausted all avenues to find a solution that would allow the team to participate in the qualifiers. We are now left with no other option than to disband the camp and allow the girls to go back home, Ringera told in his conference. R&B Starlets will not play in the AWCON qualifiers. As a result, the Uganda Crested Cranes will now automatically qualify for the finals to be held in Morocco in August. In November, Mohamed disbanded the FKF over corruption allegations and appointed the caretaker committee to oversee the sport in Kenya for a period of 6 months. The FKF's suspended chief was later charged with corruption, accused of embezzling millions of Kenyan shillings. Kenya football has long been beset by financial woes, often stemming from poor management and corruption, while Kenya's men's national team have failed to shine on the pitch. UK offer to COVID-19 vaccine to all children aged 5 to 11. All children aged 5 to 11 in England will be offered a COVID-19 vaccine, the UK government said on Wednesday, following seminar announcement in the rest of the UK. The move coming early, nearly 2 months after British regulators approved Pfizer and BioNTech, short for use among the age group, sees Britain following the lead of the United States, the European Union and other countries. It has only been vaccinating at-risk under 12s and those who live with immunosuppressed people using a lower dose formulation of the jab that was found to be safe and effective. However, Health Secretary Sajid Javid, who was responsible for England only, said he had now accepted guidance from the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunization, which advises UK health departments to expand the rollout. The NHS National Health Service will prepare to extend this non-urgent offer to all children in April so parents can, if they want, take up the offer to increase protection against potential future waves of COVID-19. As we learn to live with this virus, he said in a statement. Javid added your priority remained offering vaccines and boosters to adults and vulnerable youngsters, noting that children without underlying health conditions are at low risk of serious illness from coronavirus. As earlier First Minister Nicole Sturgeon announced, Scotland will also start jabbing 5 to 11-year-olds, while Wales unveiled the same policy the previous day. Northern Ireland also followed suit on Wednesday. The US was the first large country to begin jabbing under 12s in November and said last month it had so far vaccinated more than 8 million of them. Pfizer and BioNTech announced earlier this month that they are seeking emergency authorization from US health regulators for use of their jab for children aged over 6 months and 5 years. Meanwhile, the European Union's medicines watchdog approved the firm's shot for 5 to 11-olds in November. And several EU nations started vaccinating them the following month. Other countries around the world, including Israel, China, Argentina, have also begun jabbing the age group. However, some nations such as Sweden have opted against the move, continuing to recommend COVID-19 only for at-risk children. Meanwhile, Africa is lagging behind the more developed world in vaccinating its adult population. Just over 11% of Africans are vaccinated, the lowest rate in the world according to the World Health Organization. On our foreign news this morning, I can't move. Queen Elizabeth complains of stiffness during engagements. Queen Elizabeth II complained Wednesday about mobility issues as she carried out her first in-person official engagement since fears emerged that she could have contracted coronavirus last week. In video footage released of the 95-year-old monarch receiving 2 senior Royal Navy officers at her Windsor Castle residence, she could be heard remarking, "As you can see, I can't move," as she stood while holding a walking stick meeting the officers in the Oak Room sitting room in the castle west of London. She had pointed to her left leg or foot as the area giving her discomfort. Buckingham Palace declined to comment, where it is understood she was feeling slightly stiff rather than having injured herself or being unwell. In a separate development, anxiety had grown about the Queen's possible exposure to COVID-19 after Prince Charles, her eldest son, tested positive for the virus for the second time 2 days after meeting her. His wife Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, also then tested positive, and the couple have been self-isolating since, according to aides. Buckingham Palace has not received whether the Queen, who this month marked 70 years on the throne, has taken any COVID tests herself. On Tuesday, she held 2 virtual audiences from Windsor, meeting via video link with newly appointed ambassadors from Estonia and Spain. Meanwhile, earlier this month, on the eve of the 70th anniversary of her ascension to the throne, she held a reception for locals at Sandringham, her estate in eastern England. It was reportedly her largest in-person public engagement since an unexplained health issue last autumn that saw her spend the night in hospital and subsequently take a step back on medical advice. The palace was criticized for a lack of transparency over the EU, eventually confirming that she had spent the night in hospital in October for preliminary tests, the nature of which have never been specified. This week returned to regular royal duties after limiting them as the Omicron variant swept Britain in recent months, comes with the royal family mired in scandal. The Queen's second son, Prince Andrew, settled a sexual assault civil lawsuit in the United States on Tuesday, reportedly for 12 million euros, $16.3 million to 14.3 million euros, which newspaper claimed she was partly funded. They were investigating claims that a Saudi tycoon was offered UK honors in return for donations to Prince Charles' charitable foundation. On entertainment news this morning, Tim Godfrey, gospel singer, got engaged to lover. Popular Nigerian gospel artist Tim Godfrey on Wednesday announced his engagement to his beau on his Instagram page, sharing pictures from the moment the Naira crooner, "Meeting you changed my life, meeting you brought ending smiles, most importantly meeting you was and is my greatest reward from God. Thank you for saying yes. I can't imagine how I've lived without you all my life, but guess what? I would have waited forever till we crossed paths, but thank God this blissful and heaven-made journey has started. After giving my life to Christ, sharing life with you is the best thing that has happened to me. No measure of time with you will be enough, but let's start with forever. EKG, you're still waters, I love you." The singer, however, did not reveal the identity of his fiancée, as he neither mentioned her name nor tagged her to the post. Her face was also concealed in the pictures shared by the singer on his page. And now with that on our breakfast news, just stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're still on our breakfast news, the major highlights of our major headlines this morning. On our local news, future lecturers join ASU strike, berate federal government over approach. Bandits kidnap 22, injure 4 in Kaduna. On our political news this morning regarding the 2023 upcoming general election, I'll be close to Obasanjo, says Angu Abdullahi. Pan dumps Pidgeot after over 40 years. On our sport news this morning, Kenya withdraw from African Women Cup of Nations. On our health news this morning, UK to offer COVID-19 vaccine to all children aged 5 to 11 years. On our foreign news this morning, I can't move. Queen Elizabeth complains of stiffness during engagement. On entertainment news this morning, gospel singer Tim Godfrey gets engaged to lover. And now with that on our breakfast news this morning, thank you for watching. I want you to continue to subscribe on our YouTube channel, on AYOGEN online television, and follow us and like our page respectively on Facebook and Instagram. Do have a very wonderful day, and don't forget to always follow us on our website on the latest updates of news. So do have a wonderful day. I remain your host, Makonjola Oluwatosin. Bye.